And welcome back. We are going to go ahead and continue on our mobile learning implementation for the district. Um, Fifth and sixth step, preparing implementation and the rollout of it. First of all, I wanted to identify a plan for purchase and installation. The first step, I'd like to see the bring your own device implemented slowly through the rest of the school year. And obviously, we're not going to be able to pull this out right now. We'd like to have a year for the technology plan to be updated and before we start rolling everything out. I'd like to see how that would go. And then from that, or while we're doing that, depending upon, right now we have so many classrooms already using the Chromebooks. We already know that they're a great benefit. I'd like to see purchasing Chromebook laptops for the 75 staff of the pilot. Each staff member has 25 students, roughly, somewhere. Some have 30. We'll have to take a closer look at each individual staff member once we choose them through the tech grant that we have applied for. And then they'll also have each staff member will need a Chromebook. Identify the plan. In learning communities, the best way for teachers to help other teachers and support system is message boards, our message board, staff collaborative blogs. I think there should be within Google. The nice thing about having it as a district is we can collaborate together. So having a Google classroom for educators to get on and learn more about what our goal is. Also to create a system that allows a free collaboration, but not meant to be a negative Nancy, so to speak, where we can get on there and just complain, complain, complain. It's meant to be a proactive way for us to collaborate and share our ideas about how to continue on with the mobile learning initiative. The next way for us to communicate with the community and parents and students, and even within the building, newsletters are always a great way. Online forums, blogs, having a Google site dedicated straight to the mobile initiative that we post on each district school's website, the actual district website, auto dial phone calls home, and even posting at local libraries, at the district office, within our schools. We can really get it out there, and get it to the students, and even parents in regards to that. Our next and final phase, which is definitely the more detailed, is the evaluation. What's the plan to evaluate? In order to evaluate this initiative, first of all, successful technology integration is only achieved when the use of technology is routine, it's transparent, it's accessible, and it's readily available for what is going on in the classroom. It shouldn't be one of those things that, oh, we're doing this, okay, let's grab the laptops, or let's grab the Chromebooks. It should be a set standard in the classroom. It also should support the curriculum. You shouldn't be using it on days where you have nothing to do. It should be going hand in hand, helping the students effectively reach their goals. They have them, they are to use them, they can get several resources, extra information, so on. When technology integration is at its best, a child or teacher does not stop to think that he or she is using the technology tool. It's firsthand, it's second nature. Students are often more actively engaged in projects when technology tools are seamless and a part of learning. It just flows through the classroom. It's not, okay, let's take 5 minutes, get ourselves set up on the technology, and then go back to what we were doing. It should just be a flow through the classroom. So that's how we're going to be able to tell, was it successful in after the year of using the Chromebooks and the pilot system. Is it seamless? Are we seeing an effective change in the classroom and in the collaboration and so on? Okay, so let's look at some key questions. We've got the who, what, where, when, why, and how. Each of these are key questions and components for the evaluation process. So the first thing here is who. Who will be conducting this evaluation? I have thought about this for a very long time, and the best way that I can see this is each school or set of schools within our district has a building technology coordinator. is one or two people that are responsible for the technology in each building. So my thought is, since that's already in place, to utilize the building tech coordinator at each school to evaluate the progress, along with administrators and district supervisors, along with myself. And then as a district, we can come back together from each school and talk about how the system was going. So the evaluation process would take place, of course, the whole year is the pilot program, but throughout that year, every 3 to 4 months, meet and discuss how are these benefiting our educators and our students? How does the system and the flow work within the classroom, and so on. Next, why? Why is it important to have a sample test before any technology is implemented? And the answer to that is money and time and effectiveness. We have to make sure that it's the right direction for our students, our staff. Is it making an impact? The goal is, of course, it's going to hopefully make an impact. We want to make sure that we pilot it to really test the field. Knowing that we just went to Google, that is why we're going to work with Chromebooks versus laptops, because it allows students to work in and out of the classroom on any device that they have access to, and not have to just worry about getting their work done at school. First of all, there are 3 goals that I've set for this initiative. First of all, if students show they have stronger communication skills and are more collaborative, then I know that the use of technology has been a success. If students have been able to successfully differentiate learning and facilitate students, I know that the mobile implementation was successful. And lastly, if overall student organization and teacher classroom management have improved, then I know the technology implementation was successful. 3 key goals that I'm going to be looking for through this implementation. So let's look at the costs. First of all, we've got $149.99 for staff members, and this is without any kind of district discount or whatever. And then we've also got, for the 75 staff, and then for each set of students per class, we're looking right around $300,000 for this pilot program alone. Now, most of this is funded through the tech grant that we'll be receiving. However, we do need to take a closer look at, specifically which classrooms, so we can determine an exact number of students for this to be an exact count. Unintended consequences. There, of course, with technology have been several pitfalls. One, of course, being cyberbullying and an increase of misbehavior on the computers. Next is too much time for the pilot to take effect. So by the time we do the pilot and work through the programs, it may not be as effective as we would like. Possible consequences is the professional development opportunities aren't keeping up to date with what our goals are as a district. Therefore, the whole program just kind of poovies out. The bring your own devices is not enough to offset the costs. So as we get further into it, if the device, bringing your own devices isn't enough to offset costs, we need to stay, where's the money coming from, and so on. And then another, just looking at the classroom side, a decrease in productivity. If students have their mobile devices, of course, there's that human nature to get sidetracked and distracted. We all know, even as adults. So there's got to be some ways to get around these things, of course, but those are some common consequences we may see. Some implementation factors I'd like to point out. I am concerned with how often the teachers will actually make use of the devices. I know every classroom in our current building even has a smart board, and I would say maybe 60 to 70% of the staff actually use it. Mobile clickers in the classroom and slates. I know just in the business department alone, there's only me. I'm the only one that uses the technology, and the other 4 teachers do not. I'm the youngest. They are significantly older and have been teaching, and 3 of them are retiring. And it comes across so far that the teachers that are retiring are not as willing to make the changes as the rest of us are. I'd also like to take note of apps that are being used. So when the pilot goes, every teacher will implement differently. However, I'd like to see what apps keep track of that, so we can, issue a district-wide list of key component apps and what they could be used for in the classroom. And lastly, what types of projects are teachers assigning now that they have the access in the classroom, that allow students to utilize the technology that we're going to be implementing? If you have access to a Chromebook, you're more likely to have higher order thinking and higher level projects and assignments than if you don't. So I'd like to keep track of that and really make sure it's being used the way it should be. Conduct measures. Measuring success will be done through interviews with students across the different grades, the teachers. I think one-on-one, handful of students from each area, and really getting in there and knowing how they used it. Was it beneficial? Was it not beneficial? What are the downfalls? What are the positive aspects? It's really going to guide our implementation process, and doing that throughout the year, not just at the beginning and the end, will also help guide us. Was there behavior issues? If there were, what was severity? Was it worse because of technology? How are we doing on state testing? Is it improving results? There's just several different ways to measure the success of this implementation. When, as I've said before, we're going to pilot after the funds have been. We'd like to evaluate over the course of the year. The pilot should last a full year, but I'd like to, every 4 months, do checks, check in with the BTCs, the tech coordinators, and the staff, just to see how it's going. And if there's any issues, we can adjust as we go. I don't want to wait till the end and say, oh, there's a problem, and then have to repilot. Where, like I said, the evaluation would take place at this district service center in the conference room, and the students will not work from home. I think that we need to focus on implementation in the classroom, and then know that that will be add great benefit for students at home as well. Focus on one and then move. It's going to be a loose pilot, so we're going to let the teachers integrate as they see fit for the classroom. Each teacher will be different, of course. The costs are high, but we do not put a price on the effectiveness and increased learning that we'll be providing to our students to move to the 21st century and have those great skills to be employable. So that'll be how. And in summation, I hate to break it to you, and I know that's not maybe professional to say, but technology is inevitable for the future of education. It's already inevitable now to have it in classrooms or not have it in classrooms. And it's important that school wireless networks keep us with the ever-changing technology in order to keep up to date with our students. And we are here for our students. That is the main purpose as educators. So why not add what will benefit them the most? From the ease of communicating with their teachers, with email, quickly accessing an overabundance of information online about a topic in the classroom or what they've learned about in class. Technology is most definitely needed in today's education and in the classroom. I'd like to thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I will be here. But this is the district-wide mobile implementation learning plan initiative that I have put together. Thank you.